AMS. What are the tools? What are the tools we will use for data migration activities? What is the role of Workday? What is the role of a project manager or a consultant? And what is the role of a customer? So we will discuss in detail in our Workday deployment methodology session. Like what are the different phases we have in Workday during implementation? Where exactly we will start? Where exactly we will pick the work? Prior to that, what happened during negotiations or business? Everything we're going to discuss in our Workday deployment methodology session. Okay. So, sir, coming to your question, yeah, we're going to cover the different types of tools we have: ServiceNow, Jira, Azure, right? And how exactly work will be assigned and where we will pick up the work, how to move this work, everything we're going to be discussed. Okay. Okay. Can someone tell me? Okay. Before that, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm so sorry. I should have started with that first. So, myself, my name is Kiran. I have around 15 years of experience in IT, and in which 11 plus years of experience in Workday itself. I have worked on different modules in Workday, which includes Workday Core HR, compensation, benefits, payroll, absence management, talent, performance management. And prior to Workday, I'm an SAP HCM consultant. And currently, I'm working as a project manager and, of course, an individual contributor. I like to work on hand in the system always. Okay, this is about a simple introduction about myself. Maybe so far I have completed around six end-to-end implementation and 8+ AMS projects I have led, and I have also worked as an individual contributor. I see. Okay, right. So let me start with a question first, and then I will take you to the course content. Can someone tell me what is the current version of the Workday? Anyone? WD stands for Workday. Okay. What is the current version of an iPhone or a model?
17.
17, right? Thank
Yes.
you. Similarly, in Workday also we have this model or you can say version, friends. Okay. Current version of Workday is Workday 2025 or 2. If someone asks you, though it looks basic, but sometimes these we can't expect, right? This could be also entry question. So what is the current version of Workday? So this is the current latest version running in the market. Okay, for all the customers. What is it? WD 2025 R2. WD stands for Workday. It stands for Workday. 2025 stands for year of release. Okay, year when it is released. R2 stands for release 2. Okay, release 2. So WD Workday 2025 year, R2 is release 2. Every year Workday releases two new versions, or you can say updates. It's a biannual. One in the month of February, another one is in the month of September. The one which released in the February in the current year, we will call it as Workday 2025 R1. The one which latest release from Workday in the month of September, which is Workday 2025 R2. Okay, so this is the naming convention Workday will follow. The next in the month of February, next year February, we can call it as Workday 2026 R1. So it will continue. Till 2020, Workday has this naming convention very similar to the iPhone, like 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, so on, so on. But when they moved on 2021 onwards, they changed the naming convention to this. So current latest version is Workday 2025 R2. What is these versions? So I'm directly jumping into technical at high level I will give. I will start from basics actually. So whenever Workday release these new features, for example, we are using Android mobiles, some of you might be using iOS, right? So what happens? Sometimes we'll get the latest features, latest updates. right? Those can be bug fixes, or those can be user interfaces, or maybe new applications. So similar to that in Workday also, Workday will listen to their customers and they will develop the solutions. Okay. And they will bring those solutions in these releases. Every year, Workday will release two updates, as I mentioned. One is Feb and another one is September, which has automatic features, or you can call it as automatic updates. Another one is manual updates. So what is the difference? Automatic updates means Workday automatically release these features into all the Workday customers' environments. Automatically will release. Okay? No user manual intervention. No user intervention. Automatically they will tell some date. On the date they will release these features automatically. And we cannot say no. Why? Because there's a service level agreement between Workday and customer. Here we are using two words, Workday and customer. What are those? So whenever you heard the term partner, okay, Workday partner, consider it is, I'm taking a random example, Accenture. Whenever you heard customer, it can be the end users, the companies which they implemented Workday for the to manage and maintain the HR application. Example, Walmart, Qualcomm, BP, okay, different types of customers. What is Workday then? Anyone? What is Workday? Product owner. It's a product, right? HR suite, it's a product. So, whenever you heard the term partner means the company which tied, the company which is part of Workday, who has a license to do implementations. Customers means the company who utilizing this Workday application to manage and maintain the HR data. And who is Workday? The owner of the product HR suite. Okay. So going back to here. So automatic updates, we have, as I said, updates are of two types. Automatic updates, manual updates. Automatic updates means automatically Workday will release these features. We cannot say no because there's a SLA, service level agreement between customer, between Walmart and Workday. So for example, assume let's say I'm a product manager in Walmart for Workday. I spoke to Workday saying that I'm very happy with Workday 2021, sorry, 25R1. I don't want 2025R2. It looks like these features I didn't like. You cannot say no. You have to accept because Workday wants all their customers on the same page. Okay? So no retro changes. Everyone has to accept. Coming to the manual updates are optional. We can call it as in short term opt-in features. What it is? Opt-in features, which means these are optionals, not mandatory. You can take or you can ignore. There's no harm with that. If you think these manual updates will helpful for your HR practice, yes, you can implement it. If no, you can ignore. There's no harm. But automatic updates, everyone has to say yes. No one can say no. Okay. It's just high level. And as I mentioned during Workday deployment methodology, everything we're going to discuss about tools, migrations, roles, how to prepare a project, what other roles are involved. Okay, how to create the time test cases, how to create the test cases, how to run those test cases, how to document it, what tools we will use for the data migrations, all we will discuss. And what are the different types of pages we have, what are the roles and responsibilities of all these three entities, everything we're going to discuss in detail in our deployment methodology session. Okay. And as I said, I will take you to the quickly to the course content. I will walk through the course content with the best example, possible examples. I'll try my best to make it more simple. However, if you think you have a questions, don't hesitate. You can stop me. I can help you out. Okay. Right. This course was designed for integrations. I mean, functional and integrations. We'll call it as techno-functional. Okay. Techno-functional. So we are going to cover here Workday Core HR, and we're also going to discuss about Workday integrations. So I'll walk you through each chapter or each submodule here. Okay. Now, Kiran, first, do I need to learn any coding for this? No, absolutely not required. Coding is not required in Workday. That's exactly the Workday target or point. You make it usable application with very limited coding. I'm not using No coding is required. Coding is there in integrations, but there's a tool called Studio. Only that. For the rest of the things, coding is not required. But simple logical thinking is required, and it is also very simplified, guys. Let me explain. So first, we'll start from an overview, which start from core concepts and navigational basics. What it is. Once you logged into Workday environment, Workday tenant, how you logged in? Entering a username and password very similar to how you're accessing your Facebook or Insta or your Gmail or any other mails. Similar to that, Workday also has a unique username and password. Once you enter it, you will be logged into the Workday application. So once you log into the Workday application, you have a Workday landing page. Landing page, or you can also call it as a home screen, in which we have certain dashboards, worklets, home button, menu options, cards, okay, inbox or my task, notifications, and favorites, sitemap. Okay, different types of features we have on the Workday landing page. The first thing we'll try to understand what is the importance of each feature, how and when these features are very helpful for us during AMS or implementation or during initiating the transaction. We'll walk through each and every feature with real-time scenarios and examples. That will cover under core concepts and navigation basics. To make it simple, how to search for a task, how to modify the existing configuration, how to view the existing configuration. Okay, so those we'll discuss in our core concepts and navigational basics. In one line, it will be more familiar, it like make ourselves familiar with the Workday landing page. Thereafter, the first chapter will start from organizations in Workday. What is organizations in Workday? We have around 11 organizations we have in Workday, including business unit, 12 organizations. What are these? Supervisor organization, cost center hierarchy, region, region hierarchy, location hierarchy, system organization, matrix organization, company hierarchy, pay group, business unit. These many organizations we have in Workday, and we are going to learn all these organizations. The question: do we really need to learn all these organizations? Does all customers will ask us to create? Absolutely not. So, being a consultant, it's our responsibility to understand the customer's requirement and check where the customer's requirement will fit in which organization type, and then we need to create. Means we have to learn all these organizations, but some customers may require only company cost center, supervisory. Some customers might be required if they have globally business, regions might be required, right? Depends on the customer requirement, we need to create these organizations. Out of all these 11 or 12 organizations, there's one organization is always unique, important, mandatory. What is that? Supervisory organization. Question is, out of 12, why only this is unique? Because you must, if you want to hire an employee, I want to hire an employee called Mr. Richard. Employee name is Richard. Where I have to hire? I need a position. Manager is a position. Richard is employee, manager is a position. The position I must create under supervisor organization. I must hire an employee in the supervisor organization, associated position. I must define roles and responsibilities to the supervisor organization. Who can approve employee time off? Who can approve employee benefits? Who can move this employee from one organization to another organization? These are all HR partners. All these roles will assign to the supervisor organizations. And also copying unique business process to the supervisor organizations. So considering all, supervisor organization is unique among all other organizations. Okay? Right, that's why it is unique and mandatory. Not only that, we will also learn how to create a subordinate organization, how to divide a supervisor organization, how to assign a superior supervisor organization, and not only creating organizations. Sometimes we may get acquisitions, mergers, and sometimes some organization may not be required due to any reason. In that case, you need to inactivate the supervisor organization. So we should know how to configure and create. We should know how to manage and organize. We also should know to decommission the organization, which is called inactivate a supervisor organization. So how to inactivate a supervisor organization? Okay. So what are the parameters we need to consider? What questions we can ask our customer before we inactivate a supervisor organization? Everything we are going to discuss in this chapter. And additionally, we also talk about additional organization types and hierarchies. Just now we discussed, right, 12 organizations we have in Workday. We're going to talk about all the 12 organizations and their importance and how to create those organizations and assign those organizations to supervise the organization, default and position and employees. Okay. So these are the things we're going to discuss under organizations, and this is going to be our first chapter. After completion of this chapter, we will perform certain testing. Why? To ensure the hierarchy you created, the supervisor organization hierarchy you created accurately, the design what you made is in sync with the requirement. We will do certain testing on that. First, after performing testing, if everything looks good, then we'll move on to the next chapter called staffing models. Oh, what is staffing models here? After creating organization, next we need to decide to bring the employees, right? So we have before the positions we need to create. Staffing models, first we'll have an overview. We have two types of staffing models available in Workday. One is position management, another one is job management. Okay, one is staffing models, another one is job management. As I said, different customers have different requirement. Some customers may choose position management, some customers may choose job management. Why? What is the difference? That we'll cover here first. Staffing models, how to manage and maintain the staffing models, how to define the staffing models, in which scenario you cannot change the staffing model, and what are the key differences between the position management and job management, how to select the correct staffing model for the right supervisor organizations, we will discuss here. And then after, we'll also talk about hiring restrictions. Once you have chosen position management or job management, the next thing is you need to set the restrictions. For example, a person asked you to create a position, manager position. Okay. Business title is manager. Well and good. Where is this position is going to be work location? Where is this, whether this position is for full time or part? Okay, time type. Is this position you're creating is for employer contractor? Employee type. Is this position is creating for casual or regular or international assignee or a temporary position? Is this position required any qualifications? If this position required any additional responsibilities, everything together will call it as hiring restrictions, friends. In simple, location, time type, worker subtype, position title or job title, earliest date, earliest availability date, earliest hire date. Okay, these are all together we'll call it as hiring restriction. Then after, as I said, we'll discuss about difference between staffing models, which includes position management and job management. Then after, I will come up with a case study here. Means two case studies I'm going to bring here. As a team, we all will go through the case study. It's a kind of a client requirement. They have an organization and they have a plan to hire employees in nearby future. Okay. Which staffing model you will recommend for that requirement? If you recommend position management, what are the parameters you have considered and you recommended? If you recommend a job management, same thing. What are the parameters you consider? So this we will discuss in the staffing models. Okay. And again, testing will perform here to ensure position jobs, everything is created accurately. And then we'll move on to the next chapter called jobs and position. It's a very simple chapter. Okay, but does play a key role though. So first we'll have overview of jobs and positions. Like it is a simple chapter because here we're going to talk more about three objects: job profiles, job families, job family groups. What is it? Job profiles means it has additional job profile holds positions additional key information. What is mean by that? So in position, you're able to define location, type, worker subtype, major. But in job profile, you can define what is this management level of this position. What is this job level of this position? Does this position is exempt or non-exempt? Does this position require any work shift? What are the roles and responsibilities of this position? Okay. Is this position is direct employee or indirect employee? Everything will define in job profile and will attach the job profile to a position and job for hiring. So that we will cover in this chapter. Job family groups are optional. Even if you ignore, there is no harm. But we are going to create that. Why do we need to create? Because job profile once you create, I want to group all management, executive, non-management job profiles into different job families. Okay, all executive job profiles into executive job family, all management job profiles into management job family, all non-management job profiles into non-management job family. Why do I need to group? To create certain eligibility rules and for reporting purpose. Okay, that we'll discuss here. And then job family groups is a one hierarchy above the job family. Then after we'll perform groupings here, grouping executive job profiles into executive job family, management job profiles into management, non-management job profiles into non-management. And then grouping executive management, non-management to one job family group called global job family. After that, we'll also talk about how to create positions, jobs. Not only that, sometimes what happen, you may create positions. For instance, a customer asked us to create two positions, position A, position B, or let's say manager sales, manager marketing. We created the positions. Later, customer said they don't have budget to hire in this current quarter. Everything doesn't go as per the plan, right? Sometimes it may deviate. So they said either demand is not there or the budget is not there in the current quarter. They don't want to hire marketing manager position. They want to go with marketing sales only. In this scenario, you can freeze the position. Freeze means temporarily the position is not available for hire. Temporarily the position is not available for hire. You're just temporarily freezing it. Whenever the budget is released and employee has been available, you interview, then release the position, unfreeze the position so that the position is now available for hire. So you have that option. Okay. If you don't want to hire any employee, freeze it. Means the position no longer available for hire. Temporarily no longer available for hire. Once the budget is released, release the position so that the position is now available for hire. What happens if the customer said the position not required at all permanently? Future also, they decided the position is not required. Then what we will do? For such scenarios, Workday has given an option called close position. Close position means permanently you are closing the position. Once you close the position, you cannot reopen the position back. Close means close. Such options also we have in staffing models. Okay, so we'll discuss here in detail. Then after we'll move on to the compensation. Okay, compensation. And here first we'll have an overview of compensation. What it is. What are the different types of compensations we have in Workday? What is the dependency of compensation in other modules in Workday? For example, recruitment, benefits, and performance, payroll also require compensation data. What data they need? Okay, we will discuss as part of our and also compensation specific business processes as well. Okay, we'll discuss in detail about that in the compensation overview first. Then after, we'll talk about compensation components. Very important, expected 100% entry question. Compensation components. What is compensation components? Like compensation grade, compensation grade profile, salary plan, hourly plan, allowance plans like amount-based allowance, percentage-based allowance, unit-based allowance, period salary plan, unit salary plan, one-time payment plans, commission plans, calculated plans, compensation element groups, compensation package, compensation eligibility rules, everything together around 17 components we have in compensation. Very, very important. We're going to walk through each and every component with real-time examples. Then after, we'll also talk about compensation segmentation security, what it is. For example, you create a one-time payment called joining bonus. And the ask came from recruitment team. They told, hey, we need one joining bonus, one-time payment, and this can be accessible only by the recruitment partner. Means com partner, HR partner should not access this nor view this. Only should be accessible by recruitment partner. This we can achieve with the help of segmentation security. Who can view the compensation plan? Who should not view the compensation plan? Like that. Okay. Then after we'll talk about compensation eligibility rules. Very, very important this one. Reason is if you learn how to create compensation eligibility rules across all other modules in Workday, you are able to create compensation eligibility rules. Okay. For example, you have an executive employees, you have a management employees, you have a non-management employees. Three group of people you have. Now, customer asks you to create a car allowance of 2000 US dollars. Only executive employees are eligible. Which means if you're hiring an executive, then only the car allowance should be available. If you're hiring a management employee or non-management employee, the car allowance should not be available to assign. Or if you're promoting a management employee to executive employee, then the car allowance plan should be available. Or if you're demoting an executive to management, the car allowance plan should be removed. These we can achieve with the help of compensation eligibility rules. Identifying the right employee for the right compensation. Okay, right. Then after compensation reports. So these are our friends. Some of the reports for business decisions, how much salaries we are paying to employees. Those reports we have 200 plus reports Workday already delivered, friends. 200 plus reports. However, there are some reports called audit reports. Okay, those are really, really very helpful. How? By mistake, sometimes what happens is we are humans, mistakes may happen. Employees are eligible for the plan, but we have not assigned the plan to that employee. You cannot track each and every individual, right? So this report will guide you. Hey, this employee eligible for the plan, but you have not assigned. This employee not eligible for the plan, but you have assigned. So we can track those things with the help of this compensation reports as well. So once we complete that, we'll perform again testing each chapter. Then we'll move on to the security groups. In Workday, not mainly, in fact, two types of security groups we have. Domain-based security groups, business process security policies. What is the difference between these two? First thing, let's go with domain-based security policies. For example, client said, a manager is not allowed to view subordinates' date of birth. For example, you are my manager. I'm reporting to you. You should not view my date of birth. I'm taking just one component here. Okay. You should one attribute I'm taking. You should not view my date of birth. Because some companies it maintains a highly sensitive information. So I need to hide from you. You in the sense a manager is not allowed to view immediate report is date of birth. Whereas HR partner can view the date of birth and modify as well if required. So which means one security group you are restricting them to not to view nor modify. Another security group like HR partner, you're allowing them to view or modify. This we can achieve with the help of domain-based security policies. 30,000 plus domains we have. I'm talking about only date of birth. 30,000 plus. Okay. 30 to 42,000, I believe so far. We have those many domains, each and everything. If you want to hide any data from of the employee, Don't want to allow everyone to view compensation or a base pay or a job title or even city of birth, region of birth. Okay, you can hide it. Fine. Another one is business process security policies. What it is. For example, I have raised a leave request. In workday, time off or a leave request I have raised. Now it went for to my manager to approve. 3 days I raised. My manager has option to approve my leave, deny my leave, or send the request back to me with a comment, hey Kiran, I can't approve 3 days, but I can approve 2 days. So please correct the number of days and you submit, I will approve it. So these action items we can perform with the help of business process security policies. Who can approve, who can initiate, who can cancel, who can deny, who can correct. These will be part of business process security policies. Okay. Okay. Then after we will also talk about different types of security group types we have. Segmentation, as I mentioned, aggregation, rule-based security groups, organization membership security groups. Different types of security groups we will discuss. And customer service center representative will work on few security groups and to configure. Role-based. Then after configurable security, as I said, first we'll understand the security groups and then we'll configure. Then we'll assign them to functional areas, domains, and security policies, how to grant permissions, how to restrict permissions, everything we will discuss here. Okay. So again, security is a very crucial chapter. Anyhow, here also we'll discuss in detail. Then after business processes, this is also important chapter. The business process first will have overview, which is nothing but a workflow. A sequence of steps will trigger one after another as per your design. For example, I want to hire an employee. After hiring, I want to assign compensation. Then after, I want to capture employee personal data, contact data, government ID, Aadhaar card, social security number. Everything I have to arrange in a sequential kind of workflow will trigger one after another in a sequential order. Okay, first we'll try to understand what is business process framework. Means what is the plus sign or minus sign, what how to define the order, parallel step inbox or parallel step orders in my task, what are the different types of actions we have, what is mean by all, due date is based on effective date, advanced manually checkbox. Everything. So we're going to cover everything business, every attribute of the business process framework first. And then after, we'll also learn business process configuration options. Like there are 16 options we have, few are quick level walkthrough that. First one is action, to do, approval, consolidated approval, approval chain, consolidated approval chain, review documents, etc. Even service. So 16 options we have. We're going to walk through all these configuration options and we'll try to understand for which scenarios we need to select the right option. This is expected majority of the interview questions we'll get from here. Then after business process functionality, how the business process works, where to view the copied business processes. Okay, we'll discuss here in detail. Then how to include other business process as a sub-process, and how to trigger the parent business process with a sub-process, we will discuss as well. Then after, we'll also talk about advanced business process configuration options. Advanced business process configuration option, very helpful for it is. What it is? Create a condition rule, maintain the condition rule, step as completion, and notifications, conditional notifications, help text, overriding the business process even name. Okay, configure consolidated approval and business process exception audit report to track the number of errors we have. Okay, these are all part of advanced business process configuration options we will discuss in detail with real-time examples. Then once we're done, so far you have done the setup in each chapter. Now here you're going to hire an employee. Transactions in Workday. Here first you're going to create a pre-hire data, means applicant data or candidate data, and then you will initiate the hire process. Before initiating hire process, there are recommended reports we need to run to ensure the successful hire. And as a consultant, what are the common mistakes in the business process and hire process we will do, how to resolve those errors with real-time scenarios we will discuss. And once we initiate the successful completion of hire process, we'll also talk about staffing movements. Technically, we'll call it a change of, which includes promotion, transfer, demotion, simple data changes, move occurs by organizations, and moving an employee from job management to position management in the name of transfer. So, in promotion, transfer, demotion, data changes, consolidatedly, we will call it a change of or staffing movements. For example, you are promoting an employee. So, when you're promoting an employee, employee current position will be changed. Employee reporting manager, line manager, reporting manager will change. Employee compensation will be changed. Cost center company might be changed, right? All this will impact. So, we're going to discuss in detail about that in the staffing moments with different type of examples and how to configure the reasons as well. Then after termination, entire termination package we will discuss, including how to configure voluntary, involuntary termination reasons, how to configure local specific termination reasons. For example, you configured a reason called recession only in USA. Means if you're terminating an employee in USA, then only this reason is available. If you're terminating an employee in India, the reason won't be available. I'm just giving an example, friends. So country-specific termination reasons also we can configure in Workday. And apart from that, we'll also talk about how to create notice period eligibility rules, how to maintain notice period, how many days voluntary, involuntary employee has to serve the notice period for voluntary termination, involuntary terminations. Okay. And also how to process a one-time payment like a lump sum payout, F&F, gratuity, or severance pay, how to process. That is also we are going to discuss as part of termination package, and how to put the condition. If an employee terminated with a good reason, then only employee eligible for OTP, one-time payment. That kind of conditions also we can have. Okay. Apart from this, we'll also talk about advanced business process events. Advanced business process events. Very, very important. What are those? Correct an event, cancel an event, rescind an event, mass cancel, mass resign, reassign, delegations. Okay? Delegations, mass operation management, how to manage business process for a worker if the employee is on leave. All these are called advanced business process events, which we are going to be covered. Apart from that, which are not listed, the recent new Workday most trending features, change job templates, Hawk Studio, and Workday Assistant with AI, artificial intelligence, how to enable those features. Okay, that is also we are going to discuss in detail, those features as well. So a few things which are not mentioned in the document, but assured is a recording. I'm going to cover those. So any questions so far before we are moving on to the integrations?
So, like, what are the time period that we can complete on this? Like, if,
Sorry, sir, your voice is a little feeble. Could you repeat the question? Would you mind?
uh, what would be the time period for this?
Time taken for this. Definitely, sir. I can. So normally we need 24 sessions to complete. So whatever we discussed so far. If you
Mhm.
ask me, including integrations and functional, we need 40 sessions. Keep it as plus or always plus only, no minus. So keep it as 2 or 3 sessions more. Yeah. So 24 sessions we need, sir, to complete the workday correction. Each session means per hour or sometimes more than 1 hour. Yeah. And maybe I can also quickly highlight what are the logistics we are going to be provide and what is the way we are going to present the session. So we'll go with three-step process. What is that? For example, each and every chapter, whatever you're seeing on the screen, I will come up with a real-time example. It's a kind of a real-time requirement. I will present the document to you guys first. We work as a team. First, understand the concept. I have my running notes. I'm going to present that. Understand the concept. What is supervisor organization? What is the definition? What is the prerequisite for supervisor organization? Why should I create a supervisor organization? What data I need from the customer to create a supervisor organization? We'll think about in that way. Okay. And I'll come up with a requirement. Based on the requirement, we'll create the data in the system in Workday. And we will validate whether we have configured the organization accurately as per the design, as per the requirement. And we'll test it. This is the three-step process we'll follow. Understand the requirement, understand the concept, understand the requirement. We should in a position to gather the data from the customer, make them understand what data we need, refine the data, take the approval or sign off, and then start build. So we'll discuss in that way. And post build, recheck, validate, you configured everything is correct or not. Okay. The same thing will follow for all the chapters, what are we listed here. Apart from that, once I completed 3 chapters, I will come up with 30 questions without answers. Without answers, 30 questions I will come up with. Before I start before I start compensation, the expectations from my side, we'll walk through all the 30 questions. I will ask you the question you have to answer. Okay. Or if not, don't worry. I'm here to help you out. I'll give you some hints and all to get answer from you. Okay. That help us to recollect what we covered so far before you're moving on to the new topic. That helpful to understand where are you in these 3 chapters, which chapter you need to focus more. And finally, those questions are also helpful for interviews. Okay, that level we will going to be present. And apart from that, 175 interview questions will be provided. Trust us, none of the questions is all the questions will come from the template. Okay. But I don't give answers initially. Expectations you have to answer first. If not, I will give the key, means which has answers as well. That will helpful for your interview. If you can learn those 150 confidently, you can present any interview. I will assure on that. Second thing, post completion of this, I'm going to give 2 projects, moderate, complex. Okay. So as a team, you guys will work on the projects. Okay. It's a kind of a whatever from chapter 1 to chapter 8 we discussed. I'll give 2 projects. So you have to understand the requirement, configure the data in the tenant, and if you want me, I can validate and help you. Whether everything you did correctly or anything you did incorrectly, I can help you. That also will provide. Apart from that, each and every chapter, once I complete and moving on to the next chapter, I will give a real-time configuration document to you guys, real-time requirement to you guys, each one of you. Expectations, you need to practice that based on the requirement, you need to configure the data in the Workday application. Once you complete, I'm happy to review and give you the feedback if you want. Okay. Or if you're stuck somewhere in the configuration, I will help you out. Apart from that, we will provide everyday session recordings. Immediately within 1 hour, the recording will be loaded and shared with you. Certification material from Workday, PDF documents, class notes, what are we created, activities for each chapter, interview questions, projects. So these are the logistics we are going to provide, including the Workday tenant for 2 months. And overall, only Workday Core HR, we need 24 sessions, but keep it as buffer 3 sessions. Okay. Sometimes the questions might be more. I may have to help. Sometimes we'll run into errors. We need to troubleshoot and resolve those errors. So that's one. So any questions so far on Workday Core HR before we moving on to the integration topics?
Hi, I have a small question.
Yes, ma'am. Please go on.
Yeah. Actually, this is you have said like workday tenant access will be for the 2 month. So it will be for the 24 hour for every day, or it will be shared for one by one.
Good question. So, ma'am, as per the discussion with the organizer feel free to pitch in here. It is
Mm-hmm.
24 into 7. It's not for one after another. Okay. So
Okay,
whenever you
done.
guys want, you can access. But one point I want to highlight, maybe most of you are aware, right? If you are in
Yes,
India,
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I know.
much for flagging that. So that is globally that something is not in our control.
Yeah, yeah,
What
I know
happens?
that
Workday will
Saturday
take,
too.
yeah. Workday, it will take up the backup. We will call it as the refreshments. 8 hours
Correct.
rent won't be available. Globally, it's not only with us, everywhere, all the customers. Okay, except that time, downtime, system is always available for you. Yeah. And even if you want me to review your configurations or anyone preparing for interview, so I strongly recommend once we touch this chapter, we will give you sample resumes. Depends on how many experience you want to show.
Okay.
Okay, three types
Okay.
of resumes we will give. We ask you to put the data accordingly in the resume, create a resume based on that. And once you gave the document, I will review your resume. We will update if required, and then you guys can start applying from here itself, so that you know what happened in the market, what kind of questions you are getting. By the time once we going into complete the chapter, I'm sure you will get some confidence to clear that interview. And apart
Okay.
from that, there are apologies. Maybe allow me a moment, please. There are some few things like helping in organizing. We'll talk about more on that for each with each one of you. To learn this course, no background like coding is not required. It might be little logical thinking definitely required that I will take care. Okay, having a HR background definitely is a plus, but not mandatory. Okay, sorry ma'am, please go on.
It's done actually.
Oh, great. Okay,
That's a
so
simple
quick.
question.
Thank you.
So, so
Yeah,
firstly, like you're gonna complete all the functional modules and you're going on to the
right, sir. So first we need to complete all the functions. So function, what happens, sir? It's a setup, configure, maintain the data, and then we'll move on to the integration to fetch the data, whatever you have configured according to the client needs through the reporting, and then send the data to the stakeholders, I mean, to the vendors with the help of this integration related tools.
So
So,
as per my knowledge, like the functional codes include core exchange, compensation and security, and what we call the
so I didn't hear you clearly. Not sure this is only with me or does anyone have the same?
no. The thing is, like I was just asking to know, like I was just curious to know whether the functional includes only core HCM and the benefits
Integration.
and compensation.
Right, sir. So I will also highlight one point, sir. Here. See, some people prefer functional. Even I am a functional guy. I'm though in 11 plus years in Workday. I worked on integrations, reportings, everything, but I'm a functional guy. Okay, that's my area of interest. Similarly, some people might be very much interested in integrations, logicals, build integrations, troubleshootings, etc. So this course covers both. However, there are still advanced modules are there. After learning integration, okay, maybe allow me just 5 minutes quickly. I'll walk through this and then I will discuss more on this. Okay. So once we complete here, including interview preparations, your projects, we'll start this chapter called reporting. What is reporting? So you implementing Workday. I am your customer. I want to know last 3 months how many employees has been hired globally, what are their positions, how many years of experience they have, and what is their salary ranges, who is the reporting manager, what is the hire date. Okay, can we go each and every employee and check the profile for this information? Not possible, right? You will create a report for that. Okay, you will create a report. So here we're going to learn first report writer overview, like what are the different types of reports we have. Simple report, advanced report, matrix report we're going to be cover. How to convert a simple report to advanced report. What are the differences between simple report and advanced report and matrix report? Whenever we get the requirement, we need to think which report is suitable for to achieve this requirement, either simple or advanced or matrix. 35,000 fields workday is given to build or develop the reports. But sometimes for a client needs, those fields may not be sufficient, may not meet your requirement. Then you have calculated fields. You can build with your own logics, okay, to get the data. We are also going to learn calculated fields here. And then we'll talk about aggregations based on primary business object, secondary business object. What is this business object? I want to know, I want employee or I want worker sorry, let me put it this way. I want to know the worker is full-time or part-time. The full-time or part-time is associated with the worker. So you need to hit the worker first. From the worker, you need to get the time type. We'll call it the business object. I will simplify it while explaining. We'll discuss that also. Then after data sources, securities and report field security. So here, as I said, each and every field you can control. If you don't want to allow anyone to view the field, you can control. Okay. Report management security domains on how to schedule reports. If you don't want to run the report manually, you can schedule the report automatically. So you can give the timeline, whom you want to share this report. Automatically, the report will be shared based on whenever the time is triggered. It's a kind of a reminder. Then after, how to develop matrix reports also we'll discuss. Matrix reports are drill down reports. How many employees last 5 years the salary is not increased? I can get those numbers. When I drill down, I can see the previous salaries and everything. For such scenarios, we'll use matrix reports. Then after, we'll also talk about core connectors. It's an integration tool. Okay. We want to send data from Workday to SAP. You want to send data to Workday to ADP. You want to send the data from Workday to MetLife. We can use this core connector. So what is this core connector? First, we'll try to understand the integration architecture overview of the core connector. Integration. So what are the steps? 5 steps or 6 steps or 7 steps? What are the steps we have? Each step, what you need to configure. After configuration, how to plug in all the steps. We'll discuss. Then after integration cloud connect, integration system templates, a variety of templates we have in Workday. Based on your requirement, you need to choose which template you need to select. Okay, you are sending worker data or compensation data, time of absence data, based on that. Then integration services in core connector, change detection logic in core connector. So whenever there is a change, the integration should automatically detect. Do you want to send the data or you don't want to send the data? Something like that. Then integration business process. So business process we discussed, right, in core HR. Similarly, integration also we have business process things. Why? To fire the integration, trigger the integration, to share the file out. We need this integration bit. Okay. So encryptions and everything. So then after we'll talk about EIB. EIB stands for Enterprise Interface Builder. Enterprise Interface Builder. Okay. EIB is of two types: inbound EIB, outbound EIB. Inbound EIB means, for example, I want to change compensation for 10,000 employees. Salary I want to increase 10% to 10,000 employees. If I choose manually, a lot of effort and time is required. If I go with this inbound EIB called request compensation change, a mass data loads I can perform. The mass data loads I can perform. So we have different types of inbound EIBs we have. Okay. We do have outbound EIB, means you're sending a report to external stakeholders or vendors. You are sending a report through email or you are sending a web service. So we can use outbound EIB. So here also we'll talk about EIB overview, EIB design limitations and pattern, EIB limitations, Workday public services overview, what are the different types of web services we have, how to choose the web service for the requirement. And then Workday report as a service if you want to share the report through an EIBs. And then how to develop an inbound EIB, how to develop an outbound EIB, what data we need from the customers, how to map the data, validate the data, load the data, post data validation also we will discuss. Then customer report transformation, CRT. Some customers may need the data in different languages. How to do the report transformation, we'll talk about that. And EIB features and how to load transactional data, customers transactional data into Workday by using an inbound EIB. What are the steps we need to follow? Where we have to gather the data? We will discuss that as well. Okay. Yes, this is about our Workday course content. Post this, if anyone would like to learn any advanced integrations, Studio is there, which requires light coding. If anyone would like to learn Core SM, they can choose benefits, payroll, or time and absence. So initially, I don't recommend to learn all advanced modules because it does require another additional 30 hours and more or more. So after learning this thoroughly, you can start get into the interview and get into the job, then upskill yourself on advanced modules. So any questions, friends, I can help. Overall, we need around 40 sessions to complete all these topics, functional integrations. Anyone have
Hi,
any
Kiran.
questions?
Actually, I have a question that functional and integration two parts you said, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So these two things can be done by a one person, or these are the different person could do.
Excellent question, ma'am. So good one. Actually, integration, when I say integration, people will slide. I'm not in. Sometimes people may not interest, but Workday is successful because of this, man. So it doesn't. What are the tools here I mentioned in the integrations, right? Coding is not required at all. Drag and drop functionality. As I said, you need to identify the right object to get the data. Right business web service over you to load the data. So that kind of logical thinking is required, but no coding is required. So basically, what I'm trying to say here, a common person also can learn integrations, which doesn't require any advanced skills here. So both they can learn.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Learn means it will be implement on the workspace, or like two person will be moderate like that.
In real time, how does it work is functional is different, integration different. Okay,
Okay.
functional people will take care of their data, integration people will take care of this data. But when you're giving interview showing off both functional integration, there is a value for the profile. Techno-functional is not an easy one, right? So there's a value for the profile. That's why we are covering both. So post completion, if you ask me, reporting itself only this chapter also has jobs. If you're
I
able to
have
build
a
cal
question.
fields, also have also jobs. Sorry,
No, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So for only one tool, even web service data loads also have specific jobs. It depends on their interest, ma'am. But
Okay.
having
And you
one,
and
go
you
on.
said one more thing that advanced payroll things, but payroll is included in this functional, right?
Question. Overall, if you say Workday HCM, yes, but
Mm.
no one know every modules, right? So
Okay.
if you can include payroll itself, you can require 40 hours extra. And if you want to
Okay.
learn payroll, the dependency you have is compensation. You must learn compensation. I'll give you example. You run the payroll for an employee or a group of employees for a monthly pay group. And you run the net validation as well. Out of that, one employee has base salary, so car allowance came zero. As a payroll consultant, you troubleshooted the eligibility rules, you check the earnings, you check the groupings, framework, everything we checked. Looks all good. Looks all good.
Yeah.
What is the
I
source
have,
of that compensation, right? Here also you have to come back and troubleshoot. Does this employee have this car allowance assigned? Does this employee has car allowance assigned on the right time prior to the payroll run? Okay, amount has been entered or not. So it has required such skills now. So that's a Workday strongly recommends learn core HR and then learn the advanced modules.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is another part. Like after these two things, like
Yeah,
kind
you
of.
can choose if you would like to upskill on advanced modules, you can choose it. Yeah,
Okay, got it, got it. So for
sir.
the basic works to entry in the form, these two things are most important, right?
exactly. That's true.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you.
I have a question here.
Please, sir.
Yeah, so I have a background of data and supply chain, so data analysis and supply chain. So,
Okay.
what are your views or thoughts about on learning Workday and after that, basically this course, and then after that, moving on to Workday supply chain?
Right. Sir, as I said, no prelim. If anyone is fresher, it may not be suitable for them. Okay, because the opportunities are very less. The
Mhm.
minimum we need 2+ years of
And I'm talking
experience.
about the US market.
US market, wonderful. They have everywhere Workday rates are in US. All the customers are. Yeah. So Workday also has supply chain management. Okay. Learning this one, Workday HCM doesn't require any prerequisites. If you understand what is position, what is higher, what is manager, that much is sufficient. Because I'll start from the basics, sir, to make it easy for everyone. Okay, it's easy
Right.
to learn.
Now,
Only
my
thing
question
was,
here is
hmm,
no, sir. My question here is I'm contemplating between learning Workday integration or switching my career towards integration. reporting or
Mm.
to the supply chain? Because I
Mm.
have the both experience now into I'm working into reporting, working into data analysis, working into supply chain,
Sup-
right?
yeah,
So what do you suggest as an tutor, or you've
you
seen the
already
market?
see supply chain management, Workday Finance still at one level. Since you are in the market, you also know well, right? The most
Yeah.
successful product is HCM. The demand is also good for that, sir. Right?
Mhm.
Supply chain products are very few. It's happening, but very few. Finance also, it's happening, but only very few customers having finance. The demand is good for HCM when you compare with other modules with your
Other modules as in data integration,
supply
reporting,
chain
etc.
management, and yeah, right.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So finance is still, I don't say struggling. It's one of the successful product, but customers are not coming into the cloud for finance. That's the only the hot
Got
stuff. Yeah.
got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions again? And if anyone have career gaps or any questions about documentations, feel free to reach out to the organizer. He has a good experience and he definitely share his views and insights and he will support you also. Apart from that, if anyone have any questions which you want to talk personally, okay, don't hesitate. You can call the organizer. He will take me to the conference. We will help you out with our answers. Yeah.
So, from when
One
you're
quick
gonna start the
question, Kiran. This is Soumya.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Uh, so coming to tenants, so individually everyone will have a each individual tenant, or combinedly everyone will have a one tenant access.
Good one, ma'am. Everyone will have one-time access, no? But what happens here is they may create different accounts for three people, one account, something like that. With that, you can start configuring. But I can understand the
Okay.
challenge. Everyone configure the same data. How do you review? So that's the reason I
Yeah.
will give you unique document for each one of you while I do practice. Something like, for example, uh, RMD, AMD, KMD, TMD, something like that I will create and give you so that till end of the session, you will use the same naming convention. This is easy for you to track, easy for me to review your configurations.
Okay. From the day one, we will have the access for the tenant, or after a couple of sessions, we will have the access.
So what organizer recommend here is first three sessions we don't need any tenant because we're going to cover
Okay.
overviews, basics, make yourself familiar with the terminologies and at least four sessions. Fifth session onwards, what will happen? Two sessions goes for overview. Third session, I will start the organizations. Fourth or fifth session,
Mhm.
we'll try to complete the organizations. Not fully, partly. There, I'm going to give the document. So first week, registrations, finding out the employees, they will set up some accounts. So they need some time. It can be 3 days, 1 to 3 days. After that, they will provide. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions I can help, friends?
so from when you're gonna start with that?
So from when we are going to start the training, right, sir?
Mhm.
Yeah. So our organizer will reach out to each one of you. Kindly share your feedback and let him know your available timings. So we'll take the method into consideration and we'll start. If you ask me when we'll start tomorrow, also I'm ready to start. So, but let him circle back with each one of you. Share your feedback first. Okay. And if you think any improvements we need, definitely we'll do that. One thing you'll assure by end of the training, I will ensure you are 3 plus equal to 3 plus years of experience in Workday. If you do all my documents by whatever I'm giving, if you do practice and everything, trust me, you will be in that position. That I will assure. Okay. And anyone would like to discuss personally, you can call the organizer. He will take me to the conference. Any career related questions, documentation related questions, we will help you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Have
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thank you. And is it fine if I can hold for the day, or anyone have any questions I can help?
Hello. Hi,
Yes,
Kiran.
sir.
Harish.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. If you okay, put 3 years of experience, so how much package we can get till
Which you are in which countries?
India?
India. So whenever we come into the package, right, let's put this in two ways.
Okay.
One is if you get the job into consulting side, if you get the job into customer side. Consulting side, for 3 years of experience, it falls somewhere around 15 to 25. I'm
Okay.
talking about only workday. Workday. If you go with the customer companies, it goes up to 35.
Okay.
And we have to show our skills and all effortly. There is no limit. But workday is highly demand module and resources are less in the market. So yeah, hopefully, I hope it should continue for next 20-25 years. So far, the
Yeah.
demand is keep going. Workday also strongly bringing all their customers, all the customers into Workday.
Okay.
Customer side means you mean that product-based companies?
Right, miss. Right. Product-based companies, correct. Like BP, Shell, Qualcomm, Walmart, Apple,
Mhm.
Airbus. Okay, so they have all in India. Also, they have hubs. Everyone using Workday.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And Arnab will reach out to you. Please let him know your availability time, and soon we will consolidate and we'll start. Hopefully, maybe if you want any further questions, you guys also, I'm happy to connect tomorrow. You want to recollect? Hey, I have these questions. Let's have one more session. We'll discuss some questions. I'm happy for that to support as well. Okay. Thank you so much for each one of you for staying a session for 1 hour 18 minutes. Let's connect in our regular sessions. Have a good day and good night, guys. Stay safe. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.